Hi everyone, Darren here from the Music Vault. Part 2 of my update. This time I have my coffee. This one is all going to be, or this video is going to be all vinyl. There's not many. Oh, hold on a second. I have 3 more that I need to get. Just a second. Okay, now. Oh boy. This video again is going to be all video or all metal, vinyl. There is only the 3 7-inch that I have that are metal. Everything else is classic rock, old classic rock. Some of those albums are quite old actually. Anyways, I'll do this 3 7-inch. I started collecting these because my best friend, he collected them. He was collecting them, and I'm like, I need to collect those too. Besides, I like them. Anyways, these are the Iron Maiden 7-inch singles. This one is Number of the Beast. The B-side is Remember Tomorrow, recorded in Italy, Live in Italy. And it's this is a UK pressing. Cool custom centering, but this is the UK pressing, as well as Stranger in a Strange Land, and the B-side is That Girl. These ones again are the UK pressing of these ones, and how I can tell is because they never come shrink wrapped when we get them from England. This one, on the other hand, is not. I think this is an American release, and it comes shrink wrapped. And this is running free with Sanctuary on the back. Now, and again, because it says first time available in the US. I have 5 of these now. I have Infinite Dreams, the Clairvoyant, this one, and those 2. Relatively cheap. I got these from Amazon, and I think there's 15 of them all together, and I will get the rest as I get money. Everyone, they all started out at $10.99 when I first saw them in the record shop, and I'm like, oh, $10.99 for a single? Like, come on. Or yeah, $10.99 for a single? I don't know. Now some of them are $17.99, and they all range in prices going from popularity. The ones that are really popular are the older ones, like off the first 2 albums. Like those ones are $18.99, $19.99, $21.99 for a single. It's like, holy cow. I do know where I can get them for $11.99. War on Music has them for $11.99. Probably shouldn't have told you that because you'll run and get them now. War on Music has I think 8 of them. And I think they have the 3 ones that I need. 3 or 4, I think there is that they have. So I'll be getting them from them. Anyways, they have them for $11.99, and then shipping in Canada. We just went shipping. We went off the rails a bit on shipping, remember? Last video? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, don't get me started. I want to drink my coffee in peace. Now these are in no particular order. They're mixed up. I was cleaning them today, and I was listening to them, and you know how vinyl is. You pick it up and you look at it and go, oh my goodness. This is going to be an ear bleeder. It looks beat to hell. You're looking at it, the cover, you're looking at it going, oh, did I really pick this up? But bear in mind, the bulk of these were $2. And I'm like, you know what, for $2, if it sounds like crap, you can just wait it out until you find a better copy, right? Like we all do in the collecting community. But there was the one, I'll show you. I put it on, and when you looked at the record, you went, oh my goodness, this is going to sound like yesterday's frickin' Roadkill. sounded amazing. I couldn't believe it. After I cleaned it up, it looked like scratches everywhere, these little hairline scratches everywhere. But once I cleaned it up, the hairline scratches were still there, but the vinyl, the wax was clean. I dropped it on the table. You hear that in the dead wax, that you hear the needle hit, and then it kind of grooves over, and it starts to crackle and pop, and then that crackle and pop just dissipates, and then you're left with and it's an acoustic opening, and you're going, wow, this is going to be a really, and the whole album was, if you went on sound, it would be a very good to very good plus. If you went on looks, it'd be a good. But it just goes to show you, and a buddy of mine who owns a record shop uptown, his rule of thumb is, if you can feel it, it's going to make noise. If you can see it but can't feel it, chances are it's just what it looks like. It's not going to affect the play at all. And on that rule of thumb really comes into play. It doesn't affect the play whatsoever. At the same time, you hear it, and this record is, and I don't even know how old this record is, 40 years old, if not more. Came out probably in 73, so that would put it like, I'm going to be 50 and I was born in 70, so it puts it at about 46, 47 years old. Jethro Tull benefit. I love Jethro Tull, absolutely love Jethro Tull, especially all their older stuff. The only thing wrong with the cover on this, somebody wrote their name in it. But getting back to the wax and everything, I find on sometimes some of these older albums, I don't mind if there's a little bit of a crackle and a pop, because it brings the album to life. And I'll explain why. It brings the album to life because you look at this record, and it being 45 years plus old, how many people have listened to this record? How many times has the needle been dropped on this record? So to me, it brings it alive. Every pop, every crackle, it brings it alive. Now, if I'm going to get a 2019 release of, say, what came out? Say the new Bruce Springsteen comes out, or the new Iron Maiden comes out. It's brand new. I don't want to hear that crackle and pop. It hasn't had that classic thing yet. Whereas an album like this, that is like over 40 years old, has got that classic vinyl feeling. You know what I mean? Most people that don't collect will look at me and go, this guy's an idiot. Like, really? It's a friggin' record. Get over it. You paid $2 for it. But to those that collect, will understand exactly what I'm saying. It's a feeling that you get when you hear this, and all of these emotions that you have when you listen to a record, on the reasonings why you listen to these records, not digital copies, but records. It's because music is meant to bring people alive, like bring memories back, and a time and a place on where you heard that song and what you were doing and who you were with, you know. And this, when I dropped the needle on it, I was like, man, is this ever awesome. Not only is this a great album, I think it's one of their first records, if I want to say, within their first 5 anyways. I'm not quite sure. And this, I'm going to guess and say this is probably an original pressing, judging by the album cover. I mean, there's ring wear, and the corners are dinged and rounded and worn, but these old records, I like it when they're like this because they have character to them. They just have something. You know what I'm saying? They just have something that when you pick up a CD and you hold it in your hand and you go, oh yeah, this is great, doesn't have the same thing. Maybe to a different generation, I guess maybe it would, because some people were raised on vinyl, some people were raised on CDs, and now you have digital that most people nowadays are raised on, which to me is just a lower form of destroying the music industry or destroying the collecting industry. Anyways, Benefit by Jethro Tull. I get so way off topic. But anyways, that's Jethro Tull. Next one, I really like this band. This is a like a greatest hits package or a best of package or some sort. This is Three Dog Night with Golden Biscuits, and this has One, which is a fantastic song. Mama Told Me, Eli's Coming. What else would have on here? Try a Little Tenderness, One Man Band. Excellent stuff. This band, I know exactly who they are. I have never owned one freaking thing from this band. And I figured, I saw it for $4 and it's beat. This one's got a little bit more popping than that, but I figured I don't have anything by this band, and I've wanted to I wanted to see what this band was like, and I figured for $4 on this record is a great introductory thing, eh? Humble Pie, Smokin'. I will definitely be on the lookout for more Humble Pie. I picked this one up for $4. See in the corner there, $4. I'll probably be on a hunt for a better copy of this, cleaner copy. But in the meantime, this one will suffice. Another band that I had heard of them, never heard any of their stuff. The record was, I think, was $1 or $2. I can't remember. I figured, you know what? It's in great shape. I figured, what the hell? I'll pick it up. Excuse me, 10cc, and this one is called Deceptive Bends, and jury's still out. It is, I want to say it's a bit progressive rock, pop influence. I will definitely be throwing it back on the table to really give it a good shot again. Yeah, I up to this point I'd never heard this. I've heard this album once. I threw it on once, listened to the whole thing once, and I figured, you know, I'll give it a shot. And I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, playing in the background is, I don't have the CD here, is Broken Flesh, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the self-titled album, Broken Flesh, with all the crosses on the front. Probably one of my favorite death metal bands, like in this genre of brutal death metal. They're fantastic, this album. Another album that came out, and I bought it because it was like, I think it was like $2 too. And then I get it home, I throw it on the table, I clean it up, throw it on the table, and I realize Brian Too Loud McLeod is on this record. And I've heard half of the record, and I'm like, this is friggin' awesome. It's Chilliwack, Communication Breakdown. Oh no, this is Breakdown in Paradise, sorry. The song is called Communication Breakdown. And that is a fabulous friggin' song. So, anyways, this is a great album by Chilliwack. This came out in '79. Guy in the middle with the goofy looking pants and the maroon shirt, Too Loud McLeod, Brian McLeod, who, as we know, was in the Headpins with Darby Mills and the rest of the band, and he was in, oh, what other album? I can't remember the band. He produced a lot of bands. He was in another band too, and I can't remember what they were. Anyways, I grabbed this because I friggin' love these three songs. At the Feet of the Moon and Rise Up and Act of Innocence. That is Parachute Club. And anybody that knows me knows that I love the 80s stuff. The poppy stuff like Simple Minds, Parachute Club. I like the 80s. I don't know why, I just like the 80s. 97.3, The Boom. every long weekend has the 80s long weekend, and they play everything from Parachute Club to The Cult to anything that came out in the 80s. Anything. No metal, no punk. They'll play pop punk, they'll play the Cars, anything that came out in the 80s, all the pop stuff. 8 Seconds, Parachute Club, ABC, all that kind of stuff. Just great stuff. Another one I picked up was, I didn't have anything by this guy. Nothing. And there were 2 albums in here. Now, mind you, this cover is beat, but the vinyl sounds really good. And that's Jeff Beck, Wired. I figured for $2, I'll give her a whirl. Totally instrumental. There's no vocals on this. Which I think is really cool. And I like instrumental records. Joe Satriani, Steve Vai kind of stuff. But Jeff Beck, amazing guitar player. I don't know if I've shown this one. Picked this one up dirt cheap too. A band called Moxie. Can't remember if this is their first album or not. I want to say it is, but I don't know. And mind you, all of these are probably maybe original pressings or something like that. All on black, all standard black vinyl, inserts, stuff like that. Another one I picked up for $2, 10cc again, and this one is called The Original Soundtrack. I have not heard this one yet. I have no idea what this sounds like. But as you see, this collection of vinyl that I've picked up is not metal, one iota. The most expensive one I picked up was Bruce Springsteen's The River. And this has got Hungry Heart on it, and that's what made me buy this for $5. Double vinyl in a box cover, not the standard gatefold, but it was $5. And I don't have any Bruce Springsteen whatsoever. I'm not a huge fan of Bruce Springsteen. To be honest, I've heard some of his politics and I think he's a bit of a baby, but that's me. My political views are always going to be different than a liberal's point of view, and he's very liberal. Anyways, yeah, this is a 2 LP set, and it's got stuff like The Ties That Bind, Hungry Heart, Out in the Streets, Cadillac Ranch, Ramrod, The Price You Pay, Drive All Night, so stuff like that. And they have picture sleeves. Yeah, so I figured for $5, if I don't like it, it's $5. It's not gonna kill me. It's not gonna break the bank. Next one up was another Jethro Tull that I thought was gonna be beat, and it sounds beautiful. And that one is Jethro Tull, Heavy Horses. I love, and plus I paid $2 for it. Great album, little beat up again, but it adds character to the vinyl. It adds character to the record. This one came out in 1978, I believe. I can't read it quite. I don't know if my glasses are strong enough anymore. 1978. The early Jethro Tull is my favorite. Other than the first album. The first album I found, what album is it called? It's, oh, you can't see it. It's over here on the other opposite. It's not what I was expecting from Jethro Tull. It's a very different vibe, very different sound for Jethro Tull. I like it. Won't get a lot of spin on it, but I like the other stuff better. I like what I like better. Another one I didn't have, and I always check Discogs because I have my whole entire collection. Virtually 98% of my collection is on Discogs. So when I need to find something, this way I don't get duplicates, I go on my Discogs page and I check it out. The Alan Parsons Project Pyramid. I don't know if I think I paid $3 for this. It's in great shape. Whatchamacallit? Gatefold. I'll show you. Gatefold. I clean this up. It looks like a mirror, this record. It's beautiful. I haven't heard this one. Haven't thrown it on the table yet. But I will. I bought so much stuff. I'm kind of tapped right now for cash. But the next few albums I want to buy, I'm going to suck up the shipping and I'm going to go to Rox Records and I'm going to get a pile of stuff from there. Well, a few things from there. The new Ultimatum Symphonic Extremities is on pre-order right now, and those of you that like metal, I highly suggest you go over there and pick that up. They have it on, I think it's called Toxic Sludge green vinyl and black vinyl. I'll get the black because the Toxic Sludge green, although I would love to have it, I'd love to have both copies, green and black. One's $20 and one's $29. And that makes a big difference. Anyways, next one up, Jeff Beck, Flash. Again, I think I paid $2 for this one. I haven't heard this one yet. Again, I'm going to say it's all instrumental. Background vocalist. So this does have vocals on it. Carmine Appice is on this. Who else would we know? Nile Rodgers. Yeah, so I'm anxious to hear what this is like. Jeff Beck, we all know who Jeff Beck is, great guitar player. Another one I picked up, I think I paid $3 or $2 for this one, Alan Parsons Project, and this one is Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. I think this is a concept album about Edgar Allan Poe. And I haven't heard this one yet, but I will. I'm anxious to check it out. Most of them I heard. This one I was listening to today. If you like this band, you'll know exactly what this album is like. Cheap Trick, All Shook Up. I cleaned it up, threw it on the table. Sounds great. That cover's a little bit pooched in some spots, but the vinyl was in great shape. So, again, it's one of those records that have been around for a couple years that, that just have character. And the very last one. This, to me, is Canadian royalty. This album cover is so beat up, it has a coffee ring on it. Yeah, right there. See it? A coffee ring. Hopefully it was a Timmy's coffee, so it makes this album truly Canadian. And now that I own it, it is a truly Canadian record. It's a Canadian pressing and by a Canadian band with Canadian coffee stains, owned by a Canadian. So this is truly Canadian. And that would be the Guess Who. Rockin'. This album's got Heartbreak Bopper, Get Your Ribbons On, Smoke Big Factory, Arrivederci Girl, Guns Guns Guns, Running Bear, Back to the City, Your Nashville Sneakers, Can't Read It Because of the Coffee Stain. Yeah. I haven't heard one damn song on this album, now that I actually look at the album. But it's the Guess Who, and it's got Burton Cummings on it, who is probably one of the greatest Canadian vocalists, next to Geddy Lee, to ever put a mic in front of his face. That man can sing like crazy. But anyways, this is on Nimbus 9 Records, and it's a gatefold. Let's bring it up. Album cover is pooched. I paid $2 for this one. But if I remember correctly, the vinyl, yeah, I cleaned this up. The vinyl is in immaculate shape. Look at that. Look. Oh, there you go. See, you can see how it kind of dulls, like right here, down here in the corner. It kind of dulls. To me, that's kind of like a lot of wear. Oh, there we go. And there was a big scratch in this one, if you can see it. But it cleaned up for the most part. It cleaned up very well. Let me see if I can bring that scratch back. Yeah, right there. See how it runs? But for $2, I figure, you know what? I'll put a little bit of cleaning solution on it. Clean all the dust and the dirt and the fingerprints off of it. Chances are really, really good that it won't even affect the play, those scratches, and it'll sound beautiful. And I mean, that's what I like. Anywho, that is part 2 of my collection update. This edition was all vinyl. All the vinyl all the time. Anyways, yeah, this was it. I have 5 more things coming in the mail. I think I'm going to lay low for purchases for a little while because I want to purchase some of those stuff from whatchamacallit, Rocks and No Life to Metal. And I want to keep those guys going because they put out some stellar stuff, and 2, they're just great guys. I've talked to them. I've had the chance of, well, with Scott, I have the pleasure of being a friend and calling him a friend. So I want to keep him going because it's important that stuff, like especially his band, it's important that when he puts it out, people buy it and they can appreciate it and collect it and all sorts of stuff. So anyways, this video is now 27 minutes long. You guys have probably started snoring about 17 minutes ago. Peace out, guys. Next video. See ya.